In this video, I want to talk about not poking too deep. I know this is something, if not, all of us think about when we first start tattooing. How do I avoid going too deep? In this video, I want to cover multiple aspects about going too deep, what it is, what it isn't, and hopefully by the end of this video, you can look at going too deep a different way. Should you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below. I'll do my best to assist in the best possible direction. If you find this video helpful, consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to my channel, as I would greatly appreciate your support. This right here is the Fundamental Tattoo Handbook, which is now available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. You can head on over to either, or you'll see this cover pop right on up. The Fundamental Tattoo Handbook. It is now available. It is loaded with different information from what we are going to be going over here in this video today. How to deal with difficult clients, needle depth, hand speed to voltage, and much more. There's also links to resources, QR codes, and you also get exercises to practice directly in the book from what you're learning along the way. This book is called the Fundamental Tattoo Handbook. Once again, it is now available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. It's delivered in a fun, illustrative manner, so that way it's easy for you to not only get through the book and read it, but it's also fun, and the information that you read should stick better than just reading it by word. When it comes to going too deep, I don't look at it as pressure as much as I do time. So I look at going too deep more of a timing issue than a actual pressure issue. When we tattoo, we'll quickly find out that we really have to go out of our way to really drive the needle into the skin. So if we're really just driving needles into the skin, then we are just simply not tuned with the correct technique that we should be using, which means we really got to go back to the base. The rule of thumb that I'm going to share with you here in this video, I talk more about in the Fundamental Tattoo Handbook. However, the rule of thumb could apply to any needle. It doesn't matter if it's a mag, round mag, a specialty needle. Any needle basically is going to have the same approach here that I'm going to share with you. So right here I have a Mass Pro 7 round shader, just so that way I can easily get my points across with this one here. When we talk about going too deep or poking at the skin, we often think of damage as the first thing that comes to our head, probably even afraid of blowing things out. And this is exactly where we go wrong. We start kind of perceiving what we think is going to be right, what the correct depth is, as opposed to actually knowing. In this video, I'm going to eliminate all of the guesswork and we're going to get straight to the knowing. So let's turn this around. If I go ahead and turn this on, I'm using the MusoToku Mercury M1 tattoo machine, which is my favorite tattoo machine. It's very smooth. I will go ahead and leave my Amazon affiliate links and other affiliate links in the description below so you can check out the gear featured in this video. I'm using Phantom Tattoo gloves. I'm using the Mass Pro 7 round shader. I am using Reelskin fake skin. It's on a, I think, Senra silicone head. We're using, I think, Dynamic Black Tattooing ink and simple petroleum jelly to keep my fake skin clean here. That's basically the rundown. Once again, affiliate links will be for you down below in the description. I'll also leave a pinned comment for you so you can check out the Fundamental Tattoo Handbook. Should you have any questions, yet again, feel free to ask. When it comes to going too deep, this is something that's 110% preventable, but once we get past certain perceptions and perspectives that we think we that we adopt along the way, especially in the earlier days, when we go too deep, as I mentioned, we really have to go out of our way, so that would kind of look like me getting the needle and just drilling it into the skin like so. That's just blatantly that's just careless. That looks blatantly painful. I'm not even sure if that's the right way to say that, but that's definitely painful. You can see we got saturation, but that's the saturation we're looking for. We cause a lot of pain. This is probably going to heal inconsistent because the needle depth was inconsistent throughout, and there's also it's probably going to have some sort of texture just because the technique was driving the needle into the skin. The reason why it's remotely saturated was because I literally drove the needle into the skin. That is exactly what we don't need to do, especially in our earlier days. We really have to go out of our way to do that. So if you're using excessive force when driving the needle into the skin, then we should probably just stop that immediately. Let me go ahead and show you what we should do and substitute the practice with. It's really easy to tell what going too deep is once we kind of go through the motions here. So that right there isn't the correct way. I literally poked into the skin and then kind of tortured the skin the rest of the way, which is exactly what we don't need to be doing. Going too light is kind of the opposite of this right here, and it's kind of caring too much is the way that I look at it. So much so that you're not doing what you need to do, nor are you letting your needles do their job. So like for example, right here, I'm kind of careless. I'm only letting like 3 of the needles out of the 7 that I'm using in this needle hit the skin. And you can see that we got a very inconsistent line. It's not supposed to look that way, and you can see when we wipe away, none of it stays. This is 110% going to disappear as it heals, or at the very least stay a very faint mark in the skin, which is the opposite of what we'd be going for if we're trying to line. To remove all of the guesswork, do this. Get a larger needle gripping. Try to get something like a 7-round liner on up. The round shaders work wonderfully because you can see all the needle points. And do this. Hopefully we get this on camera cleanly here. You're going to see that I'm actually going to let the needle just touch the skin like that. So once you see the needle touch, just leave it there for a few moments. We're not ever going to do this on human skin, but you're going to see that when we left it there, we let the needle deposit ink into this specific area, and we came out with saturation, and you can see we actually captured the true integrity of all 7 needles. Let me try that again. And you can see that my needle angle is about 90 degrees, which I also talk about in the Fundamental Tattoo Handbook. That was a couple of seconds. You can kind of see it. So what this is showing me is that the needle needs time to work, because if I just kind of touch right away and then remove the needle, you can see that nothing really happens. So this is where our perception gets skewed right here. We have to let the needle deposit the ink into the skin. What that means is it has to make enough rounds so that way it's depositing with all 7 needles hitting at once, capturing the true integrity of the needle. You can see I'm only using the very tip of the needle, and I left it there for quite a bit, and we got a full saturated dot right there. If I repeated this process over and over and over, I can get consistent dots for a design doing this right here. But of course, just adapting to the time that I need for whatever skin I'm tattooing. And then you would essentially want to do this over and over. You want to do this method. You want to go very lightly, you want to go mid-range, and then you want to go all the way in, so that way you could see the different results that you were getting. It's always best if you're going to practice this exercise to stay organized. So start with the row of shallow dots and go to light, and that would look like this. Barely grazing the skin. I am leaving it to hover though. And even grazing, I may even get some sort of consistency or saturation, just using the very, very edge of the needle like that. But you can see that we got some sort of consistency, but it's still not fully saturated. If we zoom in really, really close, we can actually see the needle markings there. I'm not sure if you can see the needle markings there. What this tells me is that I could have left it a little bit longer with the depth that I was using there. I was using a sort of like graze-like pressure where it was just the very, very tip of the needle. If I had moved my level a little bit down, then I would have been right at the correct spot, and I would have been able to deposit clean dots, which is what I'm about to show you here in a moment. Let's try this again. What I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat the same thing, but I'm going to use a more accurate depth that I would use if I'm trying to line and actually deposit ink in a single one pass motion. So this is how I would do it. I'm going to do the same thing, but we're just going to do a little bit more. I can feel my needles grasp now, and I feel like they're depositing the ink right around here. And I'm still kind of using that graze-like approach. You can see that my needle is not going into the skin heavily or anything like that, but I should experience a bit more saturated dots. And my point that I'm trying to prove here is that the time matters, and eventually what this is going to do is this is going to improve your ability to spot when your needle's in the skin and doing what it's supposed to be doing, and then that's going to help you get the correct timing to create the line. But you have to know how the needle's depositing into the skin before you even start lining and doing that correctly. And you can see with this run right here, I was able to get more consistent and saturated dots. Very few of them have the needle markings. Most of them have a sort of dot look to them, which is exactly what I was going for. Not only that, they all neighbor one another well. Kind of inconsistent, but not too much. Great for demonstration purposes. I feel like it gets the point across. Now we demonstrate going too deep. So what that would look like would be the polar opposite of what we just did right here with these 2 rows. And that would look something like this, where I literally have to go out of my way to bury the needle. You can see it kind of gets lost as well in the pulling. It gets lost in the skin. So if your needle is kind of hanging as much as mine and is getting lost like this, that's definitely a bad sign. I just kind of really stabbed all of those in there, and you can see off the bat how they all come out highly inconsistent. Not only that, they come out different sizes. They're very, these are going to be very painful for anyone. These would all be blown out, and in about maybe 3 to 6 months, all of these are going to have bled together. Most of them, if not all of them, would have bled together, changing the integrity of the agreed upon tattoo. Technique is very important. So I recommend that you do these 3 exercises. You go too light, you go perfect as best as you can where you think the correct area is in the mid-range, and then you go too deep. And then that way, when you come out of this practice, once you do this like maybe 2,000 to 5,000 dots, you're going to see where the dermis sits, where the ink should be getting deposited into. Is going to become very natural. And again, I go over this within the Fundamental Tattoo Handbook. Let's put this into a real world scenario now. So once we begin to practice and find the sweet spot where the dermis is going to be for our technique, from there, what we could do is put it into real world motion. So let's create a line with the fundamentals that we've developed here. Now that I've got a better feel for light, mid, and heavy, I can go ahead and apply that to an actual technique like lining. So I'm going to go ahead and set up for that. You can see that when I go, I'm going to let my needles catch into the skin. I'm going to give them enough time to do their job before I go on to the next part of the line. I'm not using this quick, fast motion that I showed you earlier in the video. I'm using a steady, consistent motion that's right for my technical application, my technique as the artist, and my hand speed and my voltage. This right here is healthy for me because it matches my machine setup, it matches my technique, it matches my abilities. This has to be fine-tuned and dialed to every single artist individually. So take what you're hearing here in this video and apply it to yourself. A great voltage to start with would be anywhere from 6 to 7 volts depending on the stroke. This is a 4.2 millimeter stroke, so because of that, I'm able to move a little bit slower while getting the ink in there in one pass like that because it hits a little bit harder. If you're curious if I blew those lines out, absolutely not. The only blowouts here are the dots that we actually had to be really forceful on, as you can see from these results. If I blew this out, that would look a little something like this for those who are a bit skeptic of this approach. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of navigate. Let me show you what blowing out would look like. Let's see if I can do that. Because blowing out, is it instinctive? It's instinctive to do the exact opposite now. So I have to really go out of my way, as you can see, to blow out the skin. Really drive it in there and be really abrasive and just all the wrongs with the skin. If I go ahead and you can see that we went right through. We probably even tattooed this hand here, but you could see that we blew it out right there by being too aggressive. Too light would have been like this, and then we'd just be getting scratches at that point. My point is with this video, don't worry about poking too deep. Get a sheet of fake skin and do all of the poke so that way you can see what's too light, what is just right, and what is too deep. That will be it to conclude this video here. Should you have any questions at all, I encourage you to please drop a comment down below. Rest assured I'm going to do my absolute best to assist in the best possible direction. If you found this video helpful at all, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and giving this video a thumbs up, as I would greatly appreciate your support and it really does help the channel. With that being said, I thank you for watching. I appreciate you, your time, and your support. I hope you have a great day.